For the holly berries, I'm gonna take just straight red, and I'm using just a round brush right now. And you'll notice that I'm painting red on top of a red candy cane stripe, but I'm going to add some highlights in a minute, and that's going to help pull the berry forward. Also, the fact that there's just gonna be several of them is going to help our eye and brain determine that there are berries here versus just candy cane stripes that are all mushed together. So first I'm just putting a chunky layer of red onto the berries. And then what I'm gonna do while it's still wet is I'm going to grab white on the tip of my brush, and I'm going to put a highlight into that red on each berry, and off to the left-hand side. I'm just keeping it consistent with the lighting. I've already determined our light is coming from that source. The left-hand side, I mean. Okay, so there we go. And then, that's not really circular. I could spend more time on that and make it more circular. If you wrap your brush around the berry as you're shading it, it will look more like a round berry than if you go across your berry, which would make it look like a flat something. So just think like you're circling out from that highlight into the circle of the berry. You're like spiraling out from the highlight. That'll create a rounder look. Okay, now I'm gonna grab a tiny bit of black on my brush, just tiny bit of black. And I'm gonna go around the back side of the berries. And I know that's really dark at first, but if it's too dark, I'm going to go back with just red again, and I'll blend it together. It's like work on the whole bunch at once, and you save yourself some time. Okay, I'm gonna grab some of this black now. So my brush was running out. I made a little bit of a mess, but I'm not scared. I'm gonna go back with some red and put some more red back on top of the black. It's either that, or like if you're having a hard time where it's just too dark, what you can do is let it dry and then put the red back on, which I might have to do here because it is a little bit too much black. So to not make my mistake, what you could do instead of putting the black directly onto your canvas is to take your red on your plate and tiny bit of black and just mix it here on the plate, and you can see how dark your red is before you actually put it on your canvas, which would probably be smart. So do that. Do that. Oh, and then also if you have like floating berries like I do, in all the little props with holly berries, I see them just connected with a little line as if they're on a branch. So just connect it with a little red line. Okay. Oh, and the last thing I want to show you is the sprigs. And these are fun because they're so easy. But what I do for a sprig is I take my big brush, because I like how I can make nice straight lines, and I take green in there. You can add a little bit of gray if you want to not have a bright green stem. And so it's just on the tip of my brush here, and you're gonna put this onto your canvas, and you're just going to pull. That made a really big one. This is hard under the camera. I'll try that again. Okay, I might get my whole head under here. Give me a second. I can turn that into something, it'll be fine. Maybe I need a little dryer, so I'm gonna use my, dry it off a little bit. And I'm gonna pull some more. There we go, that looks more like pine needles. And they don't even have to connect all the way back to the center, because they're still gonna look like they're coming from that center piece. You could try this with different brushes too on the side, like on a side paper, so that you don't have to be scared about it. But there are some leaves. And then if you want to make a sprig that looks kind of like this one, all I did was I took the same green and I mixed some with gray and I attached some leaves to the sprig. And then I had some that were just plain green. And then I had some that were black. And then I had some that were white. So I just worked in layers and I used a small brush, a small round brush. Looking for one right now. This one will work. And you just wash it and dry it. And I'm gonna take some green to start. And let's say that this one is gonna be my rosemary sprig. So I'm gonna push down with the brush and then let go and pull towards the branch. And you don't even have to touch the branch, whatever the branch is. You can decide where. There we go. So there's just plain green. Now I'm gonna add some with some white. Mix the white and the green together. And that way I have a little bit of variety of color. And I'm gonna put some of those on there. And then I'm gonna make some that have a little bit of black. Oh, that was a lot of black. Black's so strong. Too much black. Okay. That's not enough black. Let me get that too much black part. Let's see. There we go. That looks nice. Actually, it's a little dark, but that's okay. So since that looks really, really dark on my painting, I'm gonna go back and add some shadowing elsewhere. And that way I can kind of blend that deep, deep shadows in. I'm gonna add some shadow here and there, maybe between the berries here. Maybe under the berries, make the berries look like they're popping forward a little bit. It's still too dark right there, so I'm gonna lighten that back up. It was too much, then it was not enough, then it was too much again. I just have green on my brush and I'm gonna just paint over the black parts to take off some of the black. Just cover it up. There, that looks good. I like that. Down here I'm gonna add a few leaves to one of these as well. There. That looks pretty good.